we're back. So let's introduce these players. We have. Did you guys hear me okay? We have. I think my mic might have cut out there for a second. Sorry about that, guys. Meanwhile, in the bottom left, his ID.
Players MMA.
All right, so again, a very small map. The opening builds are going to mean a lot. Are we going to see people try to expand very quickly and get the economic advantage? Some of these timing attacks can be quite nice here. And of course, Banshee play is ever so popular on Xel'Naga Fortress.
Banshee play is great. So, let's see here. And by the way, guys, when Artosa says this is a very small map, I'm sure some of you thought, no, it's not. It doesn't look that small. No, actually, architecturally, it's pretty damn small.
And I tell you, if you play it at all, it feels like everyone's 2 inches away. I'm sure the Zerg players who have ZVT'd here know what I'm talking about.
It's siege tank push to your third base. It's just a stone throw away.
Today's timing is the only timing in that matchup here, Tasteless.
Well, I am interested into seeing what kind of strats we're going to have here because, frankly, we have not had a run-of-the-mill game. We have not had a standard game where I saw, he's doing that, Marine King Prime build. I mean, Marine King Prime's the best at it, but everybody does it. And the other guy is just going to go Marine Siege Tank. We have not had that game.
No, that's quite true. We will see if we get one of those, but it looks like MMA already scouting his opponent is going to see that there is already one gas. And I like that choice by MVP. What's going to be dangerous is expanding too fast because there's so many builds out there right now designed to kill it, as we've already seen in 2 of these games. But in the meantime, MMA is going to go ahead and take this very, very fast expansion after just a barracks.
Okay, pretty interesting. MMA saying, all right, I think what happened last game is he actually had a great strategy set up he didn't get to use because he's like, I just died to a siege tank push. But this time around, he's going to get a little bit of a safer expansion build. He's probably going to do the same strategy.
Oh, look at this. Mirrors right here, but it looks like MMA going to get the first shot off, so MVP does have to back up. But yeah, Tasteless, you're quite right. I mean, I loved his planning for that game. It just ended up not being the right plan against what his opponent was doing.
Yeah. Refinery on the way here for MVP. The factory almost complete.
And I think that means that we are going to be seeing some cloaked Banshees against someone just going for that very fast expand. And looks like just one SCV has died so far this game.
And in this situation, it's really all about unit control because, frankly, this is a situation where, look, the Marines can just gun down the Banshee if the Banshee driver is the best foe you or, one of these other players. Or he can go for, at the same time, the Marines could all just be picked off and the SCVs are picked off, and then that's GG as well. So
that is very true. We'll see what he chooses to do with it. Should see a tech lab going down there pretty soon here. MMA already has that command center up, and okay, so we are seeing 5 barracks jump up for MMA. This is a very powerful build. It's him powering. He's not getting any gases, just getting a lot of infrastructure up so that he can produce a lot all at once with all the SCVs he's making, all the extra minerals he's mining because he's not getting gas.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very powerful build. And I mean, the micro is going to be so more important now because MMA is going to have the sickest economy if this Banshee doesn't do anything.
Yeah, so again, all about that Banshee control. We will see how that is. Cloak starting right away. And I think this is sort of the staple build in Terran versus Terran is getting a Banshee out. If you guys ever want to start experimenting and learning this matchup, just try to learn the Banshee Cloak build first.
I think that's a good way to go about it, Tasteless. It transitions into everything very nicely.
And there is also a variation of this build, the expand Banshee build. Now, I don't know if he actually saw the 2 barracks to the left. Did he?
You know what? I will check for you, Tasteless, but I think you are right on that. He did not.
So he doesn't know what's coming at him.
Yeah, it looks like 3 barracks to him, and a ton of Marines are coming up, Tasteless. He has his depot down, and only 3 Marines in the bunker, but does put it up. He's going to have to be careful, though. That is actually a nice scan right there, seeing a lot of the tech as well as killing this off.
You cannot afford to lose that this early in the game.
No, you cannot. Nice micro here by MMA, just picking off what he can, and Now MVP is going to have to do wonders with that Banshee.
My God.
Oh, no.
It's already at half health.
He's in so much trouble, Tasteless. In fact, he's losing 2.
Oh, no, he's going to be supply
Spidey
blocked.
boost.
And that means no more Banshees.
Uh-oh. This is really looking bad. In fact, we have a couple scans already saved up for MMA. He already has an engineering bay as well. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because he's owning just so hard right now. Just doing a great job everywhere at once.
I cannot believe my eyes. The Banshee now being chased back. The turret on the way. But is this going to be the amount of damage? It's getting low!
7 kills on that Banshee, still not going down. And he's got to keep it alive, Tasteless. He's going to want to stall that turret out if he can. Maybe too difficult with those Marines there.
Oh.
But I don't think we're going to see another scan with just 2 Marines. That is too dangerous.
The second Banshee's now out. He's no longer supply blocked. But the turret is about to finish. Oh, my God.
Oh. Still, he forced another scan, and that's always useful. Well,
Man.
MMA really showing just how cool his builds are today, Tasteless. He's got 55 supply against 40. That's a huge lead for this early in the game.
Relocating his barracks here, he is going to go into that standard Marine Marauders style. And frankly, guys, I think it's very possible that MMA can walk, as we're seeing here, to his opponent's base and just not let him down the ramp.
Yeah, it would take a while. He's going to have to get siege tanks with siege mode and push out slowly. And when your opponent already has a base, you push out slowly. This bad, but hold on.
Ooh. And don't forget, if he has stim when that finishes, he can scan and stim because Marines obviously get the speed boost from that.
Beautifully placed missile turret there, really putting an end to what MVP wanted to do. He's got a missile turret on the right-hand side here to catch this if it tries to get out.
Stim halfway complete now. And he's about to run out of energy there. He's got 2-1-0. That is an exposed Banshee that is not being paid attention to.
Ooh.
He cannot neglect his Banshees like he's doing right now.
No, you
he
cannot.
Cannot.
Not at all.
Oh, God. It's okay. He just got tabbed. Everyone's like, oh, God, what's going to happen?
I can't believe he's going Windows. What a crazy strategy.
All right. Excuse me. So we have the medevac moving out now.
Stim is about to finish. Beautifully timed out. Stim's going to finish before this drop is done.
Oh, man, and Banshees are not going to be handy to defend in this situation.
Plenty of
Actually,
siege
he
tanks,
wants to get
though.
out of there. That's too much.
Yeah, siege tanks just shoot so quickly, Tasteless, if they're not in siege mode. And the Banshee flying over there, pretending he's a Viking, trying to scare that medevac. No, it's not a Viking. You're fine.
All right. We have a concussive shell over here. I think he saw those siege tanks and said, all right, next step into stopping MMA is to just go ahead and get concussive shell. And by the way, the supply difference here is 86 to 79 with MMA in the lead.
That is right, but we do have another mech game against Marine Marauders, so this should be very interesting. Hold on, though.
Now, look, this is how you do it.
Oh,
when
yeah,
your guys,
this is
when your
beautiful.
opponent's behind, just keep dropping in there and force them to stay at home, getting the Viking.
Oh, that's a beautiful idea, but it does not end up working, and he will be able to take out this medevac. No problem.
No, he'll get him. He'll get out.
That is the luckiest 8 hit point Marine I've ever
seen. That
seen.
Marine is going to get a tattoo. Remember that experience. That was pretty. Nobody will believe him. So the medevac's now coming back here, and I don't know. I think there was one small mistake that MMA made, but he's still actually ahead in the same supply. So had he not done that drop, he would have been a 20 supply ahead.
That's right. We, by the way, have another command center going to be built by MMA at that third base, quickly taking it like he needs to. It's got the map control right now, but the unit composition that we have MVP going is very frightening. A lot of siege tanks and a lot of Blue Flame Hellions just do a great job against what MMA has if he's in position.
Yeah.
So MMA probably won't be able to do any frontal attacks, just walk around, make sure that MVP expands as slowly as possible.
All right. Looks like he wants to try to go for perhaps just the smallest contain, make him feel the heat here. And don't forget, guys, when you have siege tanks, even if it's like just 3, and you have Marauders too, when they move up with their siege tanks and try to siege up to hit yours, you could just stim forward with the Marauders and shoot down everything.
That's right. You know, that's why Marine Marauder into Mass Siege Tank is a very powerful strategy. And we don't actually get to see many people do that. You know, one of the very few people that actually will do that strategy quite often is Clyde.
Yeah.
Any Clyde fans out here?
Clyde was supposed to be here, but the universe is bending itself against him.
He's
Clyde,
bending
the greatest player
against himself, tasteless for more of a challenge, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So we have the Hellions going to try to maneuver around here. And actually, you know, to MVP's credit, MVP is actually now ahead in supply. That's hard to explain, but that's the case.
Yeah, it's a little bit wild, man. You know, he's back very well.
Yes, CVs.
Oh, man. At the same time, we have a huge drop going on.
A drop in the main.
And this is going to be pretty scary. That's a lot of Marauders. These Hellions are not going to do anything against those. Killing off factories can be huge. Instead, he's going to give up a lot of these, and, well, the Cloaked Banshees will easily clean that. But look at that. A factory does go down. Very painful right there for MVP. Nice little move there by MMA. Moving over there, doing the damage he can. A little bit of an impulse stim we saw there. Stim, he's like, never mind. So, let's see here, the supply count now. Okay, MMA now getting back into the lead with a 10 supply lead, but that's not a massive lead. It's not one that's going to be too hard to recover from. And I think again here he wants to go for a contain. Well, we have a lot of Siege Tanks coming out right now, Tasteless. A lot of Vikings as well. Taking out Medevacs. Beautiful moves right there. And the Banshees are going to be a constant hindrance to this army. You know, the Banshees, they force some more Marines in there. The Marines just do terribly against Siege Tanks and Hellions both. So just having those added in make that army twice as scary to MMA. Absolutely. Now remember, we've seen games where MVP has hung on for a long period of time with that mech army and managed to come back because of the raw strength of it. But meanwhile, MMA attacking the factory yet again. And a couple scans going off, picking off that one Siege Tank very well, but the Banshees coming over, doing their job as always. And nope. Looks like at least one of these Siege Tanks will be killed off. You know, the one thing I have to say is MMA is just trying to get so aggressive. Ooh, nice job getting a Thor out there as well, by the way. That's going to be against the Banshees, against the Vikings. It's exactly what you want to do in this situation. Yeah, it's really smart. Oh, the Medevacs taking so much damage. That's right, just two left. One of them oh so low on health. A fourth base going up for MMA. But it's a little bit late. We already have the fourth command center for MVP almost completed. And he's going to go down and take his third in just a second. All right, we have the Vikings coming out here, moving around. And look, MVP is kind of in a tough situation. He's basically in jail right now. I mean, MMA can just move around the map. You know, he has control. And it's going to be tough because MVP is probably going to have to wait until he's maxed out to leave his base. And by then, MMA is going to have a massive econ lead. Oh, look at this. The Hellions finding that fourth base, getting rid of that SCV, and that's going to be so annoying for him to send more SCVs and defend it. A little piece of his army always over there is not what he wants to do here. More and more barracks being planted down here, and there are more siege tanks on the way here. This is going to be interesting. It looks like the northern location over here, one of the possible third bases you could take if you spawn at the right spawn location. He's going to go ahead and take that. Oh, hold on. The factory getting low, and he destroys it. And he's actually going to get the second one. He has to lift now. Yeah, it's smart for him to finally move those factories. He's lost so many on the edge. It's pretty stubborn of MVP, but finally he does move them over. And it looks like he's going to change the location of his third base. Oh my God! He's going to try to move out. A lot of SCVs coming as well. Good scans going down. And he has to break through here right now, Tasteless, losing a lot of his SCVs. His Siege Tanks out of range of his opponents, but does take down, oh, will he take down one more? If only one Siege Tank is left, it's not so bad. All right, I know there's going to be a large army spilling up here for MMA. He's going to get the rest of his reinforcements that were protecting other important parts of the map. He's going to regroup and he's going to try to smash MVP. Well, you know, he might be able to. Right now, the SCV count is at 60 for MMA, 34 for MVP. So even though he broke out of that little contain, there's going to be another one. This transition into mass siege shanks has been beautiful out of MMA. And that is going to make it so hard for MVP to actually move up there.
All right. He's coming again, guys. He's got his SCVs, but there is siege tanks that are in range here of this blue base. He needs to get something to deal with those Banshees and deal with it quickly. He cannot afford to lose tanks. Otherwise, MVP is going to be back into this game, and that's not something that MMA wants. MMA wants to end this game and try to focus on that final game for victory.
MVP, I think, is actually moving out too far right now, Tasteless. He does not want to get out here and get surrounded. He's got to siege up. He's got to be careful moving into siege shank range. MMA, though, not stimming and running up.
You know, at this point in time, I would have taken all of my SCVs and attacked that center location with the rest of my army and tried to siege up over there, but I don't know, I guess he feels differently.
You know, these Banshees right now are making the entire difference in this game. Almost no Marines are left. Looks like, in fact, there's only 2 Marines in that army. Has to move back to a missile turret.
And now we have the Hellions coming over here. Oh no, taking out these SCVs. I know the MVP fans are going to be happy about this. Doing a lot of damage to that economy. Still so many Marauders and not really anything to deal with the Banshees.
You know, MVP right now is relying upon Mules so heavily, Tasteless, and there's a huge counterattack coming around, maybe even for a flank. That's a lot of Marauders. That third base is going to have to be lifted up.
Okay, going for the siege tanks before they can get into siege mode. And now he backs off. Deciding
not to siege because he does have those Banshees for that additional damage, which is so crucial. Right now, MVP is just working very hard to try to get into a position so that MMA cannot run around as much from.
Yeah.
If he can do that, if he can get a light contain on or even a hard contain on with all those siege tanks, then MMA is going to be stuck in his base, unable to do anything else.
Exactly. So right now, MMA is just trying to figure out a way to just kill off this expansion, but MVP's is just so good at maneuvering around the map. Uh-oh.
This is a danger move, Tasteless.
Yeah, this is very gutsy.
And we see MMA is right now pulling back those 4 Cloaked Banshees, being worth just so much right now. Just absolutely ravaging these add-ons and making them lift off.
We saw a little counterattack over here at that expansion. Thor doing a ton of damage to those Banshees. And I have to say, I'm actually pretty surprised to see MVP doing a move like this down here in this location. Sieging up, getting closer to the factories.
Oh, that's huge. Stopping siege tank production is huge. And oh, nice liftoff, but there's a lot of Marines in there because of the Banshees, so it looks like he will be able to get that orbital command.
And that orbital getting lower. It has just been destroyed. Oh my God, you know what? I think once again we're going to have to see GG here. I do not see any way that MMA can lose this game.
Oh, well, you know, he is definitely killing his opponent, but at the same time, all these Vikings and Banshees, what in the world? We actually see a huge turnaround here. This is a lot of siege tanks with them as well. And, you know, these Banshees may end up making the entire difference in everything here.
You know what? Oh my God, I think you might actually be right. In fact, the army here from MVP is actually so scary. I don't know. The SCV is going now to that new expansion. The production facility is now under fire as he is trying to just get a good idea of what exactly he needs to do to come back in the situation.
And look at this, all these Blue Flame Hellions going after this space, trying to call off the rest of these SCVs, but look at that, the bunker beautifully done, bringing over some more units as well, trying to clean up all of these Hellions, and he can't lose Hellions right now, Tasteless. He needs every single unit he can possibly get.
All right, looks like MVP no longer really has much of a base. It's in shambles, it's been trashed. And MMA, all he has to do is take care of these 2 Banshees and this group of siege tanks. But don't forget, every resource location is under threat right now. We could be in a base trade scenario.
And he gets 1 Banshee, then loses a huge chunk of his army right now. 44 supply to 87. 21 SCVs against just 2 SCVs.
Oh my God, what a completely bizarre game we're seeing here. Now here's a few things. If we're in a base trade scenario, which we are, remember that the Vikings are great because you can go down and shoot down a flying building. It's somewhere else on the map. Right now, the infantry-based army from MMA, he does not have that luxury. So we are actually seeing a base trade here, guys.
That is right, but, you know, MMA still has that one mining base that MVP does know about. He's building more and more barracks over there. He's just trying to get out any additional units. Anything he can get out, and here we go. He's going to have to remove this, but does get another siege tank, gets a few more units of MVP. MVP is not producing. He's got nothing building all the time here. We're going to have MMA still making units, so he's definitely got a leg up here.
Yeah, and as you can see, one Marauder here as he slowly destroys all these structures. And I don't know, guys. It's going to be tough. If the siege tanks here are killed, and I think it's the most important part of MVP's army, if the siege tanks are killed, there's no way you can win this with just Vikings.
That's right. The Vikings won't do anything against these 3-1 upgraded Marines and Marauders. And in fact, I feel like that army can just run over what MVP has. And he's going to try it. MMA going in for the kill right now, and that is going to be it. MMA.
And that is going to be GG as MMA is so close to pulling through with a win here.
I'm getting nerd chills. One more game, one more is all MMA needs to get his first GSL championship.
You know what's interesting is when we were outside, maybe 10 minutes before we went live, one of the guys that watches the show that bumped into us said, "What are your predictions for the games?" And, you know, Artosis said it, and I agreed. He said, going to be a 4-1. It'll be a 4-1, but we said MVP was going to win. We might have been completely wrong. It might have been the other way around. We could see a 4-1 here with MMA pulling through.
It looks like it might be that, in fact. I mean, he's so tight with his builds. He's making the best decisions I've seen out of a Marine Marauder guy. That tank transition, Tasteless, that's what that game was all about. Okay, he got the map control, he got up the earlier bases, he out-expanded his opponent a little bit, and then set up a 6 siege tank line. And with that, plus stimming and running in, if your opponent tries to break it, that's very, very hard to stop. It can be stopped with mech, but it's the hardest thing in the world to do. And if you have no Ravens, in fact, it seems impossible.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I have to say, I'm just loving this. Now, I know that MVP was the favorite still. Is there anybody here who thinks that MVP can win this? You guys cheering for MVP? All right, and how about those guys that want to see MMA win this with 4-1?
That's a lot of people, too.
That's a lot of people.
Well.
When our Korean commentators are ready to wrap it up, we will go ahead and close out here for a little bit. But these games are turning out to be so exciting, you know, especially when you consider what the story is that we've seen unfolding here. It's, you know, a really surprising thing. All right, and now I've been cued to have a 3-minute break, so don't go too far away for the Casting Archon, Tasteless, and Artosis. We'll be back pretty soon.